All right. Here we go. Another day. Another day's in the books. Another day of the combine in the books. Man, welcome back to the Nosebleed section. We're back at it again on the grind, like always. I'm your host, Joe, aka was 98%. Haven't done that in a while. Mr. 98%. That sounds good. And I'm joined by by my co-host, as always, Jaquan. Jaquan, what a day. What a
Oh
day we
man, and I missed
had.
most of it. That's the crazy part. I missed 4 hours of it. Like a
As
casual, I missed like 4 hours.
like a casual. He's staying true to his name, folks. He's staying true to his name. I respect it. Well, like we always say before we start the video, guys, if you could please like, comment, support, subscribe. Especially hit the like button. Help us out, YouTube. We're over 100 subscribers, so if I had some type of effect button to hit, I'd hit like a cheer button. I don't have one right now, but again, as always, subs and support is always appreciated. Check us
And
out on
share,
Facebook.
sharing definitely does help.
Sh- sharing is caring, as they say. Always push for views and always push for more people to help out the channel and help the nation grow. But yeah, as we get into it, the quarterbacks, receivers, and the tight ends went day 3 of workouts today. Tomorrow we are ending off the combine with the offensive linemen and the running backs. But man, the tight end stole the show today. We're gonna get into that. Like that's an understatement. We're gonna get into it, but I I think we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off with the biggest group, the receivers. Uh, Jay, it's funny how we kind of both missed parts of it. I saw the first kind of half of the combine because you were out, because we still have our lives to live, and then you came back and you caught the second half, and I caught up at the end. I actually paused my TV at one point. Well, I went out for like an hour and a half to try to get it to stay where it was, and I came back and it was playing again. So I guess it unpaused itself. But yeah, the receiver group today was I want to say I want to say it was a mixed bag, but like it was for everything that we kind of
That's
have
putting
been
it
reading
nicely.
on. Yeah, I am a nice person than you sometimes, but but it's
Yes.
like I don't know. It was underwhelming. It was underwhelming. I'm not. That's how I feel, at least. I feel like there was a lot that a lot of these guys left on the field. I feel like there was a lot to be desired, and I don't know. Like they had some good times. I know you had your hot take of Tyler Scott running a 4.2, and that didn't come to fruition.
Just
That
all
didn't.
around disappointments. Just
Yeah, I don't know. I
it's also
really don't know.
disappointing that the fastest time of the weekend came from a corner, not a receiver. It's like, come on, guys, really, like, really. And we still have another day to go. So if a running back beats it, but receivers couldn't, really,
you know, I
just,
I don't
just
know, man. I don't know. It was as it just going down the list. Like Jalen Hyatt, he ran pretty well as far as everybody had expectations of him to come out and show out and have like this huge amazing day, and he really didn't. Like he came in and he ran pretty well, but I don't know. He had multiple drops in his drills too, and I think you said that was kind of like one of the knocks on him. And he just between him and like I go down the list, you have Josh Downs. Josh Downs, I watched him run, I think his 40 twice, and at the end of both of them, he just didn't look happy. Like he was like shaking his head and just I guess he felt he could run faster. And maybe at the North Carolina Pro Day, he probably will. As I feel like most of these guys do run better in their home field, their home turf. So I did another one. I feel like just didn't have the day he thought he was gonna have. Um, Quentin Johnson, I don't even believe he really worked out. I didn't see him really doing any mini drills.
I
Um,
mean, again, the knock on him is that he can't get separation. There's not a lot here that you can do in terms of drills that can satiate that. And then it
no,
was like the disappearing in the national championship or disappearing at times. Like those are all things that like those are questions you have to answer. You know him working out like the worst that it probably would do is if he ran like a 4.8. And be like, oh well, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of like 40s on the jump ahead, but I know Jackson Smith and Jigba didn't run his 40, and it was just
No,
funny.
no, but there is a but
Mm,
here.
what's the
He
but?
looked absolutely amazing in his workouts, where it's like, all right, I don't actually care what he ran in his 40 or what he would have run. He is as crisp a route runner as advertised with fantastic hands to the point where it just looks easy. Like it didn't look like he was trying. And I'm like, oof, oof. Like that's it's just you, but you can kind of tell that he's a little slow. So it's as much as he's like, oh, I can be an outside, I can be an inside receiver, it's like I don't see the outside part of that, but I can see him like he's more quick than fast. I can see him getting out of breaks, making really nice catches. You know, probably having a little bit of a second gear breakaway speed, but in terms of like getting open, getting separation on the outside, I don't know about that one. But he, to me, by far had the best day. Along with, I think Tillman looked good. Scott looked good. I didn't
Scott,
see.
What's it called? Jeremiah was like banging the table for Scott. Like most of his workout, he was just talking about that dude. He was talking a lot about Tyler
He's
Scott.
one of
Even when
those
he
guys
ran, he was just like, I'm surprised that like he ran as like
because
as well
I
time he did.
seen some of the tape. I'm surprised. Like I've just
Right.
maybe it's just because I've seen clips, but it's like it's not like the play was overly impressive. It's not one of those situations where it's like they drew up this amazing route for him and he routed it. It's literally just like a slant, catches a slant and just absolutely rips through the middle of a defense and
Mhm.
blows through the backside of a secondary. And it's just like at this point, I'm like, all right, cool. So get the ball in his hands. Let him go. Get the ball block. Let him go. I
He
would be
just
very, you know what would really piss me off?
hmm.
If somehow Kansas City or Miami got him in the second round, I would be livid. Absolutely livid.
Scott.
Like, you add him to any one of those receiving cores, I will probably punch my TV.
Don't be a Cowboys fan. Don't be an Eagles fan. Don't be that Eagles fan in the Super Bowl.
Like
Don't be that guy.
it would just be unfair the amount of speed that you would. I mean, don't get me wrong, with the way the corners ran, like you just got to draft a bunch of corners from this class and you may survive, but that amount of speed is just disrespectful.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. His I watched a couple of highlights, and then actually they showed some of his highlights during his workout, and the kid's just again speed and separation is just like. So
It's
I was surprised too. Like when you like as far and then you were talking him up, and he was like, "Oh, he was gonna run 4.2, run this and that," and then he ran like 4.51 his first one. I was like, "Oh damn!" Even like Jeremiah was like talking, and like he was, "Oh, I want to see this," and then like he saw it, and he was like, "Wow, I expected him to run faster than he did." Like even Jeremiah was like just surprised.
what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, and I read that Jordan Addison was working through a back strain, so
Yeah,
I wonder if that had a little bit to do with maybe him not running as fast, or I don't know.
I think what
So
do you
it's
run a 4.49?
yeah, but I mean, like, shoot, if we were to a back strain, and he still ran that. I
That's what I
mean,
was just thinking.
it
Like
was
you did
like
that on a back strain?
yeah, he did most of his
Jesus.
workout on a back strain, like.
I think
So
there
I
was
was like,
also a receiver who had like an eye infection where like his eye was closed
yeah,
and
yeah,
he was still like catching stuff on a route. I'm like, what the
yes.
what?
I forgot who that was. I just read
I
that like an
forgot.
hour or
I
two
honestly
ago.
forgot who it was, but it's just like, wait, pause, timeout.
Ah,
Like you get major brownie points for that one. If you're going through and you have a decent workout with one eye, kudos to you, sir.
I mean, you had him. Like people were coming out with some crazy stuff. Like yeah, him. You got Will McDonald having 104 fevers 2 days before and coming out and performing. Like
They need to like sanitize and just like isolate and quarantine these kids because like what the hell, man?
and put them in like the NBA bubble or something.
Word or put them just
Like
they all sleep in hyperbaric chambers. Like just put them up against the wall and just keep them in hyperbaric chambers.
you know,
A.T. Perry was kind of up and down. Like
yeah,
A.T. Perry was
yeah.
Marvin Mims Jr. looked good.
He had a
I'll say
day.
that. He looked
He's one
really
person
good.
that had a day. He's gonna be
Like
that guy. Like again, how many times have we seen on all these mock drafts and all these simulators that we do, and you have that guy in like the fifth round? I can go get Marvin Mims, and like now, like
no,
that
you
man.
probably third round. Third round,
Yeah.
you better get him.
I think Zay Flowers made himself a first round pick all day. I think
I
he solidified that.
I didn't see any of his workout, but that also doesn't surprise me because I figured that
He
was like
he looked
coming.
good. He looked good. He did. He looked good. Um, Tank Dell. Most of his workout was good. He had like a drop or two, but like I said, I think Jalen Hyatt had like multiple drops during his workout. So like Tank Dell
It's
had a
like
good.
he
I
has
didn't.
all the speed in the world, but his hands are just abysmal.
They're just sus. They're just really sus. And Tank Dell, I didn't know Tank was as short as he was. He was measuring at like 5'8" and a half.
I thought he'd be
Like
like 5'6".
Tank Dell.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be like 5. Honestly, the way they were talking about him, I'm like, yo, is he gonna come in at like 5'6", 5'7", and just be like,
I
you're
thought
still
that
gonna
dude
draft him?
was. I thought that guy was like 5'10" the way he was playing in the Senior Bowl. I would give 5'10", 5'11". He came in at 5'8". I was like, oh, okay, Tank, my bad. Like, like, dang, we me and you see an eye to eye, literally.
Like, yeah,
Hey,
bro, I'm taller than Tank Dell, and I'm like, what? Okay,
then you got Keyshawn Boutte. He had
I,
a
I saw none of
he
his.
had
So.
an he had an showing, but people on Twitter were kind of having a field day with him. I'm not gonna lie. People were kind of giving it to him on Twitter for a while today. So I
I'm
don't.
not surprised.
He didn't have the best showing. Jonathan Mingo ran pretty well in his 40. He ran pretty well, and he had a good all around workout. He's 6'4", he's a bigger guy. So Mingo
Who
had a
who
good
who are we talking about? Mingo? Yeah,
Jonathan Mingo. Yeah,
I saw him run the gauntlet, and I saw him run a couple of routes. Pretty solid.
he yeah. I like. I know we had the expectation of like I need a show. The receivers need to come on and put on a show. They need to do. They need to like blow the roof off the building, and that really didn't happen. But at the same time, I felt like it was kind of like the what group were we looking at? Was it the linebackers or was it the edges? Where we were just like, oh no, it was the corners where we were just like, that's a good rep, that's a good rep, that's a good
Mm-hmm.
rep. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was like nothing blew me out the water, but it was just like, oh, that was good. Like from everybody, oh, that was good, that was nice. Like there was nothing that was like, oh shit, like
See,
last year where Garrett Wilson came and lit it up. Like
yeah. Or like when
I
CeeDee
didn't get
Lamb
that
came
today.
in,
Yeah, I didn't get any of
which
that today.
was Whitney. Well, I got it today. I just didn't get it from the receivers.
That's what I'm saying. For today, I didn't get it today
No.
from the receivers, right? I didn't see it from the receivers. Like,
Didn't I don't know how Michael Wilson did. I heard about it.
he
I think I saw him run the gauntlet, but that was really it.
he was solid. He's a big dude. He's like
Yeah.
6'3", 215, 220, I believe. They said his main thing, well, at least Jeremiah said his main thing was just his hands. But if he can, shore that up, he might go up draft boards. It's like he just has inconsistent hands. It was Jaden Reed, the receiver from Michigan State. He was the one that had the infection, the eye infection. That was the
Got
guy.
it. Got it.
Um, Andre Asovius, I think that's how you say his last name. He is the other one, had a good work, get a pretty solid workout. CJ Johnson, I don't know if he worked out or not. I don't remember him, to be honest with you.
If
I,
he did, I
like
didn't. Yeah.
he's like the one name so far that I don't remember seeing anything from him. He does
Yeah.
not stand out at all. Some people kind of like shorter, but I was just like, eh. Uh, Trey Tucker was an interesting one. He wasn't bad. Rishi Rice, he actually, I think he made himself some money and moved himself up some more draft boards because remember at one time like he was like a main guy. Like
Mhm.
Rishi Rice was one of those guys. Like he was like, oh, I could see this guy being the top 5 receiver going in the first round, going in the second round, blah blah. Then for a while, he just started to fall down boards because people were talking about like, what's his speed like? Like what's they like? He can catch. He makes a lot of contested catches. He makes a lot of like he can run routes. He has decent separation, but it's like where's his speed at? And he came in today and he ran 4.5. And I think unofficially may have been a 4.49, but I know it was like he ran a 4.5. And DJ was just like, as soon as he ran, DJ was just like, that's all he needed. That's all he like. That was
You
it. As
don't
soon
need to
as he
do
ran,
anything else. Do not screw
nope,
it up. Don't do.
nope. That's it. Go sit
You're
your
done.
ass down. You're done. Like
Yeah, you're done.
as soon as he ran that,
If
DJ was
I'm
just like,
DJ, I'm calling his agent. Like, hold on, sit him,
yep.
click, sit him.
like,
You'd have
right,
seen him.
like
He get ready to go. You'd have seen his agent. Hey, hit the showers, my boy. You
I'm
good?
saying,
You
like,
good?
you're done here. You're done here.
Go
Like there
home,
was
get a snack, get ready to live tomorrow.
like legit. That was it. He said like Dan Jeremiah said, he was just like that was the one thing that we really need to see from him was just be this to see his speed. And he came in and he knocked out a 4.5, and it was just like, all right, bet. Like, you're done. Like we now know where you are. We know you can catch. We know you have hands. We know you have this. Know how you have that. You've checked off the box that I needed you to check off. So it was really nice seeing him have a good solid workout. Um, Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones had a good day. Like he had a good day. like like he had good 40 time. Hands look nice. Routes look good. And I see why like he was the main guy at Purdue. I see why he was like damn near like an All American. Like I
Purdue had a nice little squad going on. I mean, all three Purdue guys kind of they had their moments. I was like,
mm-hmm.
oh, okay, maybe we not paying enough attention to Purdue.
I'm saying he had a good little workout today. He made himself a name. Then you got Jason Brownlee. He had a decent day. I don't know too much on him. The analysts were saying that he could benefit from better quarterback play because they said like
Mm.
his quarterback play at Southern Miss was not good, so that's why a lot of his
Oh,
numbers weren't the greatest. Parker Washington didn't work out, which kind of sucked because I wanted to see him. Jalen Wayne, he worked out. He was decent. Dontavian Wicks was okay. He ran a slower time. Um, Maybe if he has a pro day, he gets invited. Like it's Virginia's pro day. I don't know too many Virginia prospects that are coming out though. So
it's his show. It's his show,
yeah,
bro.
it's either gonna be his show or he's gonna have to go to another school and work out or something like that. He had
Nah,
a decent.
Virginia's too big for them not to have a full pro day.
Yeah, I'm trying to like I off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody else from Virginia though. Which
Mm,
is like unless you're really gonna go down there for the one guy. I don't know.
I don't know.
Darius Davis, he's the one he ran at 4.37. He was
Whew,
flying.
whew,
Yeah, he was flying.
whew.
And then
He's
and
one of
then
those smaller TCU receivers, right?
yep,
Yeah,
yep. He was about 5'8", I want to say
yeah.
he measured in as.
That's
And then
my issue with TCU is that like it's not that the team was bad; they were just so small outside of the
Quentin
receiver.
Johnson.
Quentin Johnston. Like they were just all so small and got swallowed up by linebackers, corners, safeties of Georgia. It was just like we might need to like call some jet sweeps and like the linemen look little. I'm just like, oh, this is just terrible.
Yeah, they have. I mean, between him, you got him, and you had like Travius on the defensive side, who's like five
Yeah,
seven, 5'8". You know,
yeah.
I think one of the main people, Matt Landers, had himself a day.
I heard. I
And
heard.
I didn't think he was this fast. Like I knew he was like a solid big body guy. Like he was 6'4", 6'5", I believe he measured in as. And
Ooh.
yeah, and he ran like 4.3. Like he was moving.
Mm,
Like yeah, the face you're making, like
mm,
Charles Davis, and Rich Eisen all make the same face. They're
mm,
like
mm,
Matt Landers,
mm.
Matt like he was
Sir,
he
welcome to the
yeah.
party. Welcome to the party, sir.
Yeah, I I don't know where it came from. I didn't
That's
know he
one of
was
those
that
like, oh
fast.
yeah, no, we gotta go back and look at that tape. Like that's a highlight. Like we gotta go back and look at that tape
Oh,
real
definitely got to
hard.
go back and be like, all right, wait a minute, we might have missed something here. Like that was it was I was thoroughly impressed with that. Then on top, I think Jalen Moreno Cropper might have had one of, if not the best catch of the day. Um,
Amongst the receivers.
yes, he had
Oh,
a really nice catch. So I
who is
think
this again?
Jalen Cropper from Fresno State. And
Oh, okay.
I mentioned him before they started. I mentioned him yesterday because he had a really good showing at the Shrine Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So he continues to move up to some draft boards. He might be like a solid like fourth, fifth round kind of guy at this point. Maybe he shows how to get out of pro day and he moves up even more. Um,
I don't know if he can do enough at a pro day to move up even more, but I mean, it's one of those situations where I feel like because of the way this draft is, he might go slightly higher because a lot more people are willing to wait on other positions because other positions are so deep. So he might mess around, be a like late day 2, early day 3 guy.
also true, also true. Um, Xavier Hutchinson, another guy out of Iowa State that I like. I liked him in Hazelwood. They ran a little slower than I would have
Mm-hmm.
liked. Big body guys though, solid hands. Their gauntlet work was nice. They were staying on the line. Uh, Antoine Green ran. He didn't seem happy about his 40 time, but a decent workout. He had a drop or two. Puka Nakua is a guy that I really liked. He didn't run. He didn't run the 40. But
But he did some drills. I remember seeing him
yes,
pop a little bit.
yeah, he ran some drills and he looked pretty good as well. He's another guy that DJ really loves. Like he couldn't talk about him enough. And I believe he worked out during the Senior Bowl, but I believe he got hurt during the Senior Bowl practice week and he wasn't able to play. So
Mm-hmm.
it was good to see him come out. He's going to be a mid round guy. Ronnie Bell had a solid day. Trey Palmer ran a 4.33 40. He was moving. I mentioned him yesterday because you see him in the middle rounds from Nebraska. He could have benefited from some better quarterback play, but he's a good receiver, polished route runner, and he gives you a lot of value on special teams. He's a punt and kick returner. So I like really liked him too. A couple of the other guys like Demario Douglas, he had a good like a decent enough workout, but like J. Ray Jenkins, Raheem Jarrett, Jacob Copeland didn't really impress me too much. They just kind of fodder. Like, I don't know how to really describe it. Like
That
they were just kind of
it's
they're
bad
just
because
kind of
that's what
there.
the group is right now.
Like they're just kind of there. Like I didn't feel like, oh, like wow, this guy really did this and that well. Like that's how I really felt. That's how I felt about like Keishawn Boutte too. Like I feel like he had a decent day, but like you weren't as advertised. You
Yeah.
know, now, I wasn't gonna say Jerry Jenkins was like made to be like this whole first round pick of a person, but for like for like the bitch fits and tantrums that Boutte, threw during the college football season,
Oh my god.
like for all that stuff going on social media and deleting your social media and all that shit, to be sitting to be sitting up here running 4.6s and 4.7s, like
Oh
and
man.
being like, what
Wait,
was he?
Keishawn Boutte ran a 4.6?
I want to say he ran 4.6, 4.5, 4.6, something like that. Um, it
Mm.
was just like it. It was something as it was. It wasn't anything that anybody expected out of him at all. And like people were saying Jeremiah, people again, like I said, people were letting him have it on social media, and like people were just like he just didn't. It just wasn't a good day for him. Oh, sorry, he ran 4.5 officially.
Okay.
He ran 4.5 officially. It was I don't know. It just wasn't really anything that to write home about. Like again, I wasn't wild. I wasn't really super impressed. Mm-mm. Then you got Bryce Ford Wheaton. Bryce Ford Wheaton is another one. He ran 4.37 unofficial.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Ooh.
he's the one I told you about in the Shrine game. He had a
Mm-hmm.
decent showing in the Shrine game. He kind of, to me, I'd say he kind of outperformed A.T. Perry in the Shrine game. But the one thing I don't like about Bryce Ford Wheaton is that he's a body catcher. I didn't like that. When they were running the gauntlet drill, you had
Yeah.
everybody else was out here, up here, down here,
Mm-hmm.
and everything I saw from him, he was just like in the chest, in the
Yeah.
chest, in the chest, like. And I hate that, especially being a Giants fan and watching Darius Slayton do that shit for the past like 4 years. Like when you get like screwing us over too, when you could extend your arms and go get the ball instead of
Yeah,
keeping it back here and having
yeah.
the corner come in and just knock it out your hands. Like extend your catch radius. Like
Hmm.
he was just getting hit with the football in the chest all day and just trying to catch it on the rebound. Now it's just like, nah, it's not how we catching the ball. Like I don't want anything to do with this guy. Like 4.37 or not, like that's nice. Like, but catch with your hands, not with your chest.
Yeah.
Um, like I mentioned, Jadon Hazelwood. He's another one. Looks solid. Could be a mid-round late guy, maybe undrafted kind of priority guy. Um, other than that, like I said, like we both said, I wasn't super impressed by anybody. Joseph Gata, Michael Jefferson, Mitchell Tinsley, Kiaris Jackson. Nothing that I was just like I had to go immediately like write a note down of this person's name. Like
Hmm.
it was one of those. It was one of those groups, which again, like it kind of sucks because on paper and seeing names, you're like, all right, like I know these people. I want to see what they can do, and then you watch them, you're just like, eh. Like
I
it
mean,
was
it
like,
it gave us 25 minutes of content, so I mean,
yeah,
I can live with it. I can live with it. It's just
I literally could have
overall, it was
wrote
just meh.
down.
It's just
I
meh.
wish I could have wrote down maybe like 10 people's names and watched them, and then like the rest of them might as well have been like punters and kickers. Like, don't even show the coverage. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there are
Yeah,
certain people like even Daniel Jeremiah was talking about like Malik Heath and like Kiaris Jackson. He was like Kiaris Jackson is just he didn't really do much with Georgia, and I was like, okay, like like it's like when the
damn.
scouts and analysts are just like, yeah, another guy. He was at Georgia. He didn't do much, but he's athletic, has some
He
potential.
showed up.
Even
He's
yeah,
athletic.
like
He showed up.
right,
He was
like
there. He was present.
exactly. Karis Jackson, he's a participant. Like that's all you got for me, Daniel Jeremiah. Like that's literally all you have for me. Like thanks, he's a participant. Great. Like there was nothing else that you offered to me to say there. And then Jake Bobo, he had a solid day too.
Mm.
He ran a solid gauntlet. All right, we're done with the underwhelming group. Quarterbacks. It'd be helpful if I scroll down, right?
That would definitely help a lot.
That
Thanks.
trying to see who you remember off the top of your head. That's why.
Oh, I only saw half the group, so
Yeah. Well,
apparently I saw the important half according to
I was about to say,
all the pundits. I saw the important ones.
because I didn't see anything. Like I
Well,
saw.
yes, you did because you were messaging me about Stinson Bennett and
Yeah,
Darren
yeah.
Hall and Will Levis. So I'll let you start with that group.
Okay. Well, let's see. I saw the people I saw, like you said, I saw Will Levis. I saw Stetson Bennett, Jaron Hall, Max Duggan, Clayton Tune, Dorian Thompson Robinson, and Malik Cunningham, Jake Hayner, and Tyson Badgett. So I saw those guys. So I'll start with Will. Probably Will had a good day. Will had a good day. I was talking to you before we got on and everything. As far as the only thing that his only thing that kind of got me was his he kind of has like that weird like hitch step in his throwing motion, and like a lot of the analysts there and a lot of the scouts were saying like when he throws and he does his little weird giddy up motion, it cuts him off. It stops his momentum. He's not really able to follow through on his throws. It closes himself off to like the rest of his body. So, but they were saying like a quarterback coach or somebody during the draft is going to get with him, or somebody before obviously pro days and also they're going to get with him. They're going to fix his throwing motion and it'll help him in the long run. He'll get more torque and more velocity, more accuracy on his throws. So his throwing motion is a little weird. Or it's not throwing motion. His footwork's a little weird, but he had a good day. He had some accuracy, he had some timing, and then at the end, like they were just throwing their little deep routes and deep bombs, and he was connecting pretty solidly. So, he had a solid day. I Still tough. I still want to say he's QB4. I really do because again, you got
Well,
Stroud. I still want to say he's
oh yeah,
QB4.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got Young, you got Stroud, you got Anthony Richardson, who might be fucking like QB1 after today.
Whoa,
So,
whoa,
I'm
guys.
just
Whoa,
saying. I'm just
whoa,
saying. I'm just
whoa,
saying. Uh,
whoa, whoa,
you
whoa.
know what happens every year. Somebody's gonna fall in love with all the intangibles, all the athleticism, all the potential. They're gonna fall in love with it,
We'll get
and
there.
then
We'll get there.
okay,
I'll
all right,
let you.
well,
Finish, but
fair
we'll get.
enough, fair enough, fair enough. Let me
We'll
go
get
through the
there.
rest of my guys. I won't be long because everybody else wasn't, they weren't amazing.
They were participants.
They were participants. They showed up today, so I will give them their 30 seconds of fame, as famous as we are. Um, and then you have like Stetson Bennett, and I'll give Stetson his flowers. The kid, sorry, I won't say kid. It's a grown ass man, like 26. Uh, like, like Stetson Bennett, he had a good day. Like I can't hate on the guy. He had a good day. He showed up and he hit he hit a lot of routes. First off, I didn't see a man pulling out like a 4.6. That's the first thing that impressed me. Yeah, he ran like a fast 40 time, and then he came out and they were running slants, their outs, their posts, their fades. He was hitting every throw, and then he opened up the arm a bit, and he was hitting 70, 75-yard passes down the field on some deep bombs. Yeah, and he was dropping it over the shoulder on the sideline in a bucket. Like, until the crowd woke up and started going crazy, and he let one rip maybe 65, 70 yards, and Daniel Jeremiah and Charlie Davis and Rich Eisen, all of them kind of stopped him. Was like, holy hell, Stetson Bennett! Like, where's that been? Like, I'm just like,
Like,
yeah,
bro, where you been at, bro?
like, and he was. I mean, but then he looks at he shows his defense like, I don't have to do anything. Do you see this? like, like the
Fair,
Will Smith, like
fair.
the Will Smith, like I don't have to do anything. All I gotta do is turn around and hand the ball off to one of my 3 5-star running backs behind my 5 offensive linemen that are going to the NFL draft, and let my defense average 24 points a game on turnovers. Like, that's all I have to do. But it's like when that should happen, you saw, I was like, whoa, like Stetson Bennett, is this for real? Like he
Fourth
had
round?
himself
Question mark. Fourth round.
easy, whoa, easy.
I mean, come on. If he
I
put on
mean,
that, if he put on that kind of show athletically, right? And then you add in the fact that he has 2 national championships. If the only knock on the man is he's slightly undersized and he's a little older, then it's like, all right, you need to probably hold a clipboard for a year. It's like he's not as big as Mike White, but I look at him like he could have a Mike White type of situation where, like, if you chill and you learn the playbook, somebody gets hurt. You know,
he, dude, like he had himself a day, and I was
that's when,
thoroughly
like, hey,
surprised.
fourth round, like that's where you start to see those possibly backup, maybe fringe starter guys start to go. So fourth round, you heard a lot about this weekend about the Vikings looking at quarterbacks.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
get you
did hear.
get you get a
I
team like
did.
the Vikings. You bring him into Miami to compete with Skylar Thompson. You bring him into those situations. I mean, I'd hate to say New Orleans, but New
Can you
Orleans.
name Skylar Thompson? I mean, for quarterback two, yeah, I get it.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, quarterback two. I
you
mean,
you you draft him in the fourth round. Let him come in and compete. You know.
you really gonna take a quarterback in the fourth round in this draft? We have when you have 11 Hall of Fame
I'm
tight ends
focusing
sitting
on
there.
certain teams. Why do you think I'm only focusing on certain teams?
I
So I'm
mean,
only focusing on certain teams. Okay.
honestly, the Dolphins are gonna take a tight end with their first pick. I think because they're
I
losing Mike Gesicki, so why
my
not?
man's my
Like,
man's. What first pick? Their first pick is in the second round.
I didn't say first round pick. It's with their first pick.
I mean, if with the way the tight end class is, like you're not gonna you're not gonna miss a beat. Like you're just
No, no.
all
Like I
right.
said,
Go get paid. Go get paid,
as
my
I
man.
say, go get Payne. I'll put it like this:
Go get paid.
Kincaid, Mayer, Darnell, and Musgrave will probably be gone by their first pick.
But so what? Like that's what I'm looking at.
exactly.
So
But
what?
then it's like, but then again, you got Laporta, you got everybody else, you got Payne, everybody else sitting there. So I don't think you're really gonna miss too much. Um,
No, not at
yeah,
all.
I
Anyway,
don't even miss too much.
we'll get there.
Yeah, like I said, Stetson had a good day. Jaron Hall, not great, not great. Like I'm not gonna lie, I don't think he missed a lot of throws. I'm not like let's put it like this. He had some throws he threw down in the dirt. He had some throws that he just flat out missed
So
from deep.
can we get to the point where we're starting to question the BYU staff? That's 2 years. It's 2 years in a row now.
It is, but I don't put him on the same level that I put Zach Wilson. Like so,
The
it's tough.
mistakes sound the same to me.
You could say that. You could say that.
And come on with it. Come on
But
with
is
it.
it on them or is it just I mean, is it the quarterback that they're actually recruiting? Or are they just not recruiting good quarterbacks though, or are they just good
It
college
could be that
quarterbacks?
too. Could be that too. I don't know.
I don't know either. But like I said, it was just it wasn't a good day. Jaron Hall did not have a good day. Um, After that, who else did I see? I saw Max Duggan. Max Duggan turned out he ripped off a great 40, and I honestly think that was probably like the highlight for his workout. He had a
That
great 40.
that is sad.
Yeah, that to be honest, to be completely honest, I think that's really it. He had a good 40, but he's another one. Like his throws were okay. Like his throws were okay, but he missed quite a couple. He was missing high for a while,
Mm.
like out routes and everything. He missed a couple slants. I just think he was throwing high. He was missing. Um, Clayton Tune was an interesting prospect.
We're not to that group yet. We're not to that group yet.
I'm just saying he was interesting. DTR DTR was another one.
You're taking my group, bro.
Am I? Oh, that's right.
Yes,
That's right.
you're taking my
I
group.
forgot. I forgot about that. DTR. He's a That's right. He's in your group. Malik Cunningham and Jake Hayner and Tyler Badger are my guys.
Yeah.
Malik Cunningham, he's a big project. I'll put it like that. He ran decent. He ran 4.5. He is. He is though. He's a project, and you could see it when they were throwing their deep balls. You could see everybody else was just like flick of the wrist, like flick of the wrist, flick of the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's bombing the ball, and then like you see Malik throwing like his whole body behind it and taking like those one or two like sets, and then just trying to launch the thing. It's just like okay, like your arm strength isn't on par with these guys. That's okay,
Mm-hmm.
but like I get it. You don't have the arm strength.
The issue about that is though is he was the main one talking trash yesterday. I forgot what the quote was. Somebody made a quote about like him, you know, he thinks he's one of the top quarterbacks and he came here to prove it or something like that. I know he had some quote yesterday and I'm like, all right. It seems to be a theme this weekend. Whoever open up their mouth and say something crazy like that,
yeah,
they don't back it up.
Sheesh. Yeah, after Malik, yeah, Jake Hayner, and honestly, Jake Hayner sneakily had one of the better workouts of the day.
Good to hear.
He looked good. He looked good with his Kurt Warner one glove on. He looked good. But he was hitting with some timing and some accuracy. I like what I saw out of Hayner, and he gonna just build off that momentum of after the Senior Bowl. He had a good week of Senior Bowl practice. He was Senior Bowl MVP, and he came out today and he threw some good passes. He ran pretty decent in the 40, and again, just timing and accuracy, man. Like I was just impressed with him. And then Tyson Badgett has like the story that everybody likes because his dad's like a world champion arm wrestler.
Oh,
Like,
that's the guy. Okay.
yeah, it's like
That's the guy.
28-time world arm wrestling champion and everything. So
Yeah.
they talked to his dad, Tyler, I think his name is, and they're like, "What do you see in your son?" And what do you blah blah, you know? And he's just like, he has heart and he has grit, determination, athleticism, and all the things that that you want to hear. All the things you want to hear. But like
Hmm.
his first go around of the deep ball didn't look as good. They were looking for more air under it so the receiver to run under, and he
Hmm.
was kind of throwing flat balls. And then the second time around, he came around, and the second time around he came around, and actually he looked pretty decent. He threw a couple good balls. So like I'm not gonna say he had the best workout, but I want to say that he showed that he like belonged. He competed pretty decently well. He hit some good throws, some decent timing. Because there were some other guys that other quarterbacks on this list, and I think they were in your group too, that like when the receiver gets out their break, they want to have the ball already on them.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
don't want to sit here and wait for the receiver to be like 3 steps into already looking back, and you're still like hitching and hitching and hitching. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
there were some guys that were waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like, yo, when the receiver plants that foot and turns, the ball needs to be here already. Like that's when you hit it with timing and you hit him in motion, and like how Stroud was.
Yeah.
Like throw the ball with timing and anticipation. So as soon as the ball turned, bang, I'm snatching it, I'm tucking it in one motion, and I'm out. Like there were people that were there were guys that they had to wait because it was just like it's like, yo, come on. So that was my part of the group. What was your part of the group?
Scroll back up. I had
Uh,
I had I had the mega stars in the group.
yeah, of course you did.
Uh, of course, Bryce Young was like there, but was didn't work out. CJ Stroud is just. I think the best way I can kind of describe him, just overall demeanor, is just poetry in motion. Like just poetry in motion. Like everything about just his 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 footwork, his base, like his throwing motion, just everything. Almost all of his throws perfectly timed, perfectly just perfectly placed. It's just he's such a clean, precise quarterback that it's just like I just wow, just wow. Like yeah, he missed some throws, but like wow, just his motion is and he threw like a couple of gorgeous deep balls, like exactly how you want to see it. It's dropped right in the bucket. It was beautiful to see. It was like a symphony. And then that's the best way I can describe it. Like it's like watching a conductor conduct an orchestra, and I'm just like, this guy just even if he's one of those guys where like even if he isn't a megastar, he has such a high floor that I find it very difficult to believe that he won't be successful. Like it's so there's no throw that he can't make, and he has such a balanced base that you can kind of see once he gets kind of used to the NFL game, he'll be able to play in the pocket and just give it to guys wherever they need it. Like it's just beautiful to watch. Anthony Richardson to me is like if CJ Stroud was a symphony, Anthony Richardson's a rock star. Where it's
Okay.
just like there are those people like if you like them, you love them. If you don't like them, you're just not gonna like them. That's Anthony
Mm,
Richardson to me. It's like he didn't do anything to change the narratives that are around him, but he showed you all the great things that are just like if you can just fix the little things, like oh man, he's definitely I agree. He has the highest talent potential of this group, and it's not close. Like I understand when they say he has top 5 quarterback in the NFL potential. Like you see the Pat Mahomes, you see the Josh Allen, you see the Justin Herbert. Like you see it, but you also see the Zach Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Like,
guys,
like you see the
first
Lamar Jackson.
everybody's bubble.
That's the clear one. But then you see the Zach Wilson. You see the bad years of Daniel Jones. Like you see both. So it's like Anthony Richardson is all about situation. Like great kid, great story. Obviously, they all love black trauma, whatever.
Mm,
But if the guy just gets in the right situation, just he sky's the limit. Like I don't think he has a ceiling. Like that's how good he is. Naturally, he doesn't. Real, and then what, 6'4", 244, ran a 4.4, like
Mhm.
doesn't like he doesn't have a ceiling. He just needs to
Disgusting.
fix the mechanics and learn the NFL game. Like literally have him sit behind somebody for a year. Like if he can get into a team with a really good coaching staff that can coach quarterbacks and let him sit a year, like oh man. Like if
I
I'm
hope.
Seattle, taking him. If I'm thinking Seattle or who else am I thinking of that has a quarterback? Detroit. Those are the two teams I heard that Dan
Yeah, I heard
Jeremiah
that.
said. Like if those two teams, like oh my goodness, if they can just get him, let him
I think they
sit.
can afford that too, because Goff sat there and you know, for all intents and purposes, Goff had a pretty decent year with them.
Yeah,
But it's like if you like you said, like if you could sit him behind Goff for a year, and then after that year move Goff and pull the trigger with him, and oh man,
like that Lions offense would quite literally explode. Like in
oh
that division, and there's a
with
very good chance that Aaron Rodgers goes. So
with
the one
Chark and
so
with
and
who
then but
Chark
the one
and
guy you got
Jamison
to beat out
Williams.
is
Oh
Kirk
man,
Cousins. Like
who might also be gone for
who might
35
also be
million.
gone. So like that division is, and then you're going up against Justin Fields, which not for nothing, not that scared of. Like, and
No,
Detroit has the roster already. They're going to keep adding talent. You wait a year, they're going to add more talent. Detroit could easily win that division in 2 years. Hell, they could probably win the division next year. Honestly,
they had they went on that crazy run towards the end of the season.
yeah.
So
Like
shit.
you take like again, I would say even like you look at like I get it they need a corner, but again, corner is so deep that they can get a corner with their second pick. Honestly, they can go and get a corner with their second pick. You take Anthony Richardson, you know what it is. You let him sit for a year. You let the guys get used to him. You let him practice. You let him get those reps and just 2024, 2025, let him loose. Oh man, Detroit would be terrifying as a team. Absolutely terrifying.
They got pieces of it. They're gonna resign Jamal Williams.
Mm-hmm.
They got DeAndre Swift. They got Chark. They got
Who they
Jameson
might actually move,
Williams.
like
Oh man, who?
is uh uh Swift.
I wouldn't do that. They have a good
I
one too right
wouldn't, but I've heard rumblings that they may look to move him.
now.
But I mean, and then again, you got St. Brown, you got DJ Chark, you got you can
Jameson
probably go
Williams.
you can probably go and get you can probably go and get another tight end.
I'm about to say again. This is the year to do it. Go get a tight end
Yeah,
and pick
y'all
up where
rocking.
you move T.J. Hawkinson. So
Yeah, like and you're that offense is, and again, you let the tight end grow up. You let everybody catch up. You let everybody get a year older. You give the keys to Anthony Richardson, and you guys are ready to rock.
yeah, because I don't know who their tight end is over there right now. To be honest with you,
I couldn't tell you.
no, me
Um,
either.
Unfortunately, Hayden Hooker didn't work out for obvious reasons. But to sum it all up, Anthony Richardson's a rock concert. C.J. Stroud is a symphony. I think Anthony Richardson is the third probably ranked quarterback in this class just because of how much work he's still going to need. And the other two guys, I think personally, are plug and play.
Okay.
That's not a knock on him. It's just
Yeah,
like
no.
you give him the Pat Mahomes plan and just let him loose, and like you have potentially, you add some more talent there. You got an NFC juggernaut just sleeping in Detroit.
I dig it.
Hendon Hooker, I've heard nothing but good things about. Hendon Hooker's the type of player though that like I hate to do this because I believe in the plan, but like I'd love for the Jets to take Hendon Hooker, give him a year behind whatever quarterback we have, and just let him and Zach duke it out for blood next year. And
Wow.
if we get Aaron and Aaron Rodgers retires, so be it. Let those two guys just duke it out. Let the best person win. Trade the other guy.
Mm.
Honestly, because I
Okay.
think Hendon Hooker will be ready to go once he fully recovers from that injury. I heard he's extremely smart, like absorbs the playbook. From what you saw of him, he has a bit of that athleticism. He's a great pocket presence. Can pretty much make all the throws. Like he'd be a first round pick if he didn't tear his ACL.
And he can
Honestly,
move too.
yeah, that's what I'm like. I have no bad things to say about him.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell. Here's the thing with O'Connell. He was very up and down, and I only say that because on a lot of like the short passes, the hitches, the comeback, all that stuff, he looked like he was almost knuckleballing it to like try and keep himself from destroying someone's chest. And then they let them do like the deep go route, and he throws a beautiful ball. Like, oh my Lanta. He throws a beautiful ball. Like, holy. I can't curse on here probably because we're on YouTube, but
We've been cursing the whole time.
yeah, you know, good God almighty, he throws a great ball. Clayton Tune was another guy where like DJ just was like, we want to see if he can plant off his back foot and go. First throw, lands on his black foot, airs out a beautiful ball. And I'm just like, what the hell, man? Like, like all of these guys have a beautiful deep ball outside of like maybe Tanner McKee, but we're not there yet. DTR to me looked nervous in the beginning. And then once he got comfortable, like you see it. He's not quite like he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not one of these like high end like he's gonna start. But he definitely you can see Tyler Huntley. You know what I'm saying? Like he is built really well, has great footwork. I believe he ran the 40 relatively well. Like he looks good. Of course, you know he needs some refinement. He's kind of a little bit of a project, but he's a high end backup fringe starter. And I think that he
down
can
the road.
image.
Down the road.
Yeah, down the road, like 2-3 years. No, he's not there now. Not at all. Not at all.
No. He's a competitor. I love his energy.
Oh yeah, no, you love to see that. Tanner McKee was another guy that was up and down. Like he would go from having a beautiful pass, a beautiful play, to absolutely pooping the bed and overthrowing it and underthrowing it, and just like when he threw a deep ball, like he could not get air under it to save his life. I think he maybe had one pass that looked decent, and I'm just like,
hate to hear that. A lot of people were waiting for him to have a really good day.
Yeah, it wasn't. He got outshined in a group where he could have shined. He got to me outshined by Clayton Tune and O'Connell, honestly. And now for the main event.
But I'm saying, like the reason we're even doing the podcast. You see like, the title, the Titans. The Titans stole the show, man.
Like, good Lord. You want to talk about not having a bad day? Where it's like, yeah, sure. It was almost like even the ones that were missed, I almost blame on the quarterbacks because they had Kurt, whatever his name was, and Carson Strong. Like, yo, can we bring CJ Stroud back out here, please? Like, can we bring Richardson back out here? Like, please, God.
To me, it's just crazy that Carson Strong's a free agent after 1 year. Like,
yeah, bro. I mean,
like, I'm like, dang, I didn't think he was that bad. Like,
you know. Anywho,
yeah.
Luke Musgrave didn't work out. Sad. Dalton Kincaid didn't work out. I think both were dealing with like small injuries. But the bell of the
Musgraves ain't small, but
well, I mean they all were. I think they were just hurt. There wasn't anybody here who was small. Like they're all like 6'4" plus. I think 6'4".
No, I mean Musgrave's injury wasn't a small injury.
Oh well,
but he'll be good for his pro day though. He already said he's working out for his pro day.
But I mean, like in a group that I thought would be like, okay, I could see Michael Mayer and like I want to see like I thought he was going to shine the way Trey McBride did last year. Nope. He was alright. He wasn't bad.
Like he had a solid day. Yeah, he had a solid
bad
day
by any means. But Darnell motherfucking Washington. Holy Jesus. Like, it's going to piss me off because I know he's going to go one of three places, and I'm just going to be mad. He's going to either get picked by the Patriots at 14. He's going to go to the fucking Bengals, and it's going to make me angry. Or he's going to end up on fucking Kansas City. Or, like, he's going to end up on, like, Kansas City or the Eagles or some shit like that.
Oh, my God.
Like,
I hope he doesn't go to either of those last teams
like,
you just said.
It is unfair. To me, honestly, Darnell Washington is tight end 1. Like, I get why they had Michael Mayer there. I understand it. No, I don't care. Darnell Washington's tight end 1. And it's not close. Maybe it's just because I didn't see Kincaid and I didn't see Musgrave work out. But, like, Darnell Washington's tight end 1. Like, you can't teach that size. You can't teach that movement. You can't teach that strength. You can't teach the fact that he's literally in the infant stage of being a pass catcher. And he's already a fantastic pass catcher.
That man is 6'7". You just can't teach height. Like,
you can't teach height. And I think he came in at like 245?
Something like that. And
Like,
then on top of that, he's like having an extra lineman on the field. Like, you just like having another tackle. He's sick, like he's just mauling people. They're
like,
showing his highlights of him blocking. He's mauling DNs in the run game.
And the part that kills me is that he wasn't even the best tight end on his team. And he was clearly the best tight end in this group. So, like,
Brock Bowers is disgusting.
Like,
he's a whole other beast.
I can't even begin to, like, just giving him his flowers now. I think he's tight end 1. It is just, you plug and play him, and you just let him maul people in the run game. You give him, you know, a couple of you give him some play in the middle of the defense, and it's just like he's gonna run over people, he's gonna hurdle people, he's gonna truck people. He's just going to make defenses suffer in like the absolute worst way. And there's nothing you or I or any coach can do to stop him. There's no one I can think of that can stop this man. It is
he was a problem.
He is a problem. Like, he is the problem in this group.
And then he just ended his workout off with that one-handed catch.
Oh my! Like, okay, a beautiful one-handed like finger catch, going out of bounds, got both feet in and stuck it. Like, just like, my God.
Like, with if nothing else was needed, like, you did everything else that you did today, and then to the last drill, you want to go do that. It's like, okay, like, we see you, Darnell. We like, get it.
We got you, big homie. Like, all right, we see now. We understand.
You. Like he was like Michael Mayer. Okay, hold my beer. Like, it just went out and like, yeah, okay. We put everybody on notice. We understand. We got it.
Like, we got it. He's tight end 1. We got it. Cool.
That was disgusting. Like you said. I wish Musgrave worked out, but Mayer had a solid day. Like I said, like you said, it wasn't like a Trey McBride coming out and just blowing everybody out the water. But he's gonna still have, I believe he's still gonna have a good solid career. But it just wasn't again one of those things where it just was like you're waiting for just this animal to come out and just blow the roof off the building. It just didn't happen. You were just like, oh, like, all right, all
right, yeah. He looks like a tight end 1, but it's the difference between like Kelsey and Gronk and Dalton Schultz. Like, that's the difference. Where it's like they're all tight end 1s, but there are levels to this. Like Darnell Washington looks like he can almost immediately be up there with, you know, Kelsey, Gronk, the dude from the Eagles,
Dallas
Goedert. Like, he's in that kind of stratosphere we're talking about right now. Anyway, moving on. Like, it was just, it was just.
Shoemaker didn't work out.
Yes, he did.
Did he? I didn't see him on all the drills.
No, he did. I didn't even see him on the drills. He looked good. Okay. He looked good.
I didn't see him like in half of the drills, and I was watching the tight end group. I never heard this guy's last name once. All right.
I saw him a couple of times. He looked good.
Oh, good. That's good to know then, because I literally saw everybody else on the list besides
Yeah.
like Cam Latu, but then like I didn't see him. That's good. I
Uh,
want him. I would like to see him go and maybe like he's another one probably go the second, third round.
yeah,
So
probably. Like a large majority of these tight ends are going to go second, third round, and you
yeah,
probably still can find a good one in fourth, fifth round. Like that's how deep this is. Tucker
yeah,
Craft, he
solid
may
day.
need some time to like for like the game to catch up because it's level of competition, all that jazz. But he looked twitchy. He looks good. He got out of his brace clean. Great hands. Branton Strange.
Britton Strange.
Love this kid. Love this kid.
You were talking about him during his
Love this kid.
workout.
Oh my lord. Love him as a tight end. Davis Allen was cool. Josh
He
Wiley.
looked pretty
Love him.
good. Davis
Yeah.
Allen looked pretty good. I didn't know much about him because
Yeah.
I don't hear too much about like Clemson tight ends. So
Yeah.
I thought he looked pretty good. Josh Wiley.
Josh Wiley looked great. Looked
Yep.
fantastic. Sam Laporta plays way faster than I thought he did. Like he's gonna eat linebackers for breakfast. He's gonna kill safeties.
He looks just like he looks like a receiver that's just like a step slow. Like he looks like he's over between receiver and tight end.
Yeah.
Like he really and everything to him, like where you saw some of the other tight ends when they would run routes or run whatever, it looked like they were thinking about it or they were like kind of struggling or straining to be like, all right, like Laporta was just running routes. Like he was like, okay, like I got this. Like he looked like he's a tight end, but like in a receiver body. But like I can drag people, but I can also separate away from you. Like he looked great. He looked great.
Just
yeah, it just goes on and on. Like it really.
Blake Whiteheart, loved him. Loved it.
I never even heard of him, but he looked solid too.
He looked
never heard of the guy.
Payne Durham. Oh my god, second best tight end in the group.
I watched his workout. He was another one. Like I was gonna text him like we were texting the other day about Tuli Pelosi. Like every drill I want to just type Payne, like just text Payne. Like he showed up,
killed it,
he
showed
up and showed out today too.
He was the second best tight end in this workout. Might be like tight end 3 or 4, honestly.
I was about to say he might have jumped tight end 3 for me.
I can't say tight end 3 because of the 2 guys that didn't work out. I think those guys automatic. So he might be like tight end 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He might be like tight end 5.
Yeah, let's see what
Musgrave one guy that doesn't
Kincaid do.
I feel like him and Laporta are like the 2 guys that aren't going to go in the first round. Woo.
Probably not. Yeah, and then like it's gonna be like, all right, here's pick 32, Laporta. Pick 33, like I didn't go 30. I went 31. My bad. Like
oh, I just didn't go in the first round because Miami didn't have a first round pick. Whoops.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly. Like this whole tight end group was ridiculous.
Like
did Noah work out?
No.
Okay. I'm not crazy then. I'm not crazy there then. I'm about to say
Coons,
I don't recognize that.
Dominion. Oh my!
Yeah.
This man is massive. This dude is massive, like tree trunk arms.
I heard about him
like legs. Great.
I heard about him mid-season that he was lighting up all the
what? Bro, like potentially like you bring him in, you nurture him, he's your tight end 1 in a year, maybe 2, maybe less. He might be like end of the year, he's probably going to be like top 3 in targets.
He's like I heard about him midway through the season. I heard about him and I heard about who's the kid that we just talked about from Croft. I heard about them 2 together, like midway through the FCS FBS season. I heard about how they were just like lighting it up down there, and I've been like, even like when we were doing like our PFN and PFF mocks and everything, I always find one of those guys in the 5th, 6th later rounds, like, oh, take this guy, like I just off of word of mouth. Just off of like, yeah, exactly. Now it's just like, oh, sorry, 3rd round. Like, like
if that, bro, if they make it there, they make it there at this point. Willis, apparently he's like the go gadget dude.
The thing about Oklahoma, like, and they did this last year when it was Jeremiah Hall, who
Hmm.
actually he didn't. I don't believe he got get drafted, but the Giants picked up at one point as a priority undrafted free agent. They do this the whole fullback H back tight end kind of
Hmm.
hybrid thing where they're like 6'3", so they're a little shorter for a tight end position, but a little
Hmm.
tall for the running back position. So it's
Yeah.
like that's the Oklahoma thing. He goes out the backfield, he lines up at the tight end, a little like splits out a wing a little bit. Like you said,
I
he's a
mean,
little
if you're
gadget
looking for your
player.
next juice, like that might be him.
Like
I mean,
maybe I don't know if he's fast enough. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but
I'm talking about in terms of whatever his name is from the 49ers. Like if you're looking for another guy like that,
Kyle
if you're looking for
Juszczyk,
yeah, if you're looking for another use check, that's him. There you go.
maybe I wouldn't go that far.
I'd say he checks every box that you like. If you're gonna create a guy like that, he checks the boxes. He blocks well. He's speedy. He gets out of his breaks. He's nasty. He's physical. He's violent. Like again, you can't project what anybody's gonna do, but I'm like,
No, of
you're gonna give
course.
somebody a recipe book, and it's just like they're gonna give you all the ingredients. Like it may not taste exactly the same, but it's probably gonna be pretty damn close.
We'll see what happens with him. Like I said, I feel like they always have that mold of that guy. Like again, they had it with Jeremiah Hall last year, and I don't know where he is in the league anymore. I don't know if he's
I don't
in the
know.
league. So I always feel like Oklahoma always has that guy. They always have that Swiss Army knife fullback
Yeah.
tight end hybrid. That's always a major part of their offense, and then comes into the NFL. And like you said, same thing. Like he's physical. He's this. He's that. He's that. And then it's just like they get to the NFL and just fizzle out because just like there's really no position for you here. So
Mhm.
it's just like they kind of fall by the
Yeah,
wayside.
because most teams don't carry fullbacks.
Yeah, like I could only think of like two or three on the top of my head at this
Yeah.
point. Like that's really like what's the guy? Richard was from the Ravens, and then like
Yeah.
Juice Check on the Niners. I really
Yeah.
can't think of any more off the top of my head.
We had one, but he got hurt for the season, so he was on IR.
Cincy is crazy to have two tight ends like
You know who
Josh
he
Wiley
remi-
and Leonard Taylor. It's just
You know who he
ridiculous.
reminds me of so much? He was on Coastal Carolina. He came out of Coastal Carolina last year, got drafted by the Ravens.
Isaiah Likely.
Yes, that's who. Just watching him move, that's exactly who I thought of immediately.
Hmm. I saw some of his workout. I didn't catch all of it. I didn't catch all.
He
I didn't
needs
catch his
his
reps.
hands need work. His hands definitely need work.
Okay.
That's what I came away with. Like his hands needs. He has
He might
great
just be a special
size.
teamer for a year. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's one of those guys you sit him for a year, work on his hands, plug him in. He's your tight end too.
And you got Will Mallory. Will Mallory is another one who's just like great
Killing it.
workout. Great workout. He
I
sat
think he
here
had
and
the fastest time in the 40s.
for a while it was funny because for a while he was like he was up there for a bit and then he like I don't know. Like he was up there for a bit with all the tight ends and then his name kind of like dropped. Because again, not that he did anything wrong, but it's just when
It's so
you
deep.
dig and dig and dig and you keep finding like, oh, now here's Jack Clemson, here's Tucker Croft, here's this, here's that, and his name
Yeah,
just goes down, down, down. Now like this happened, and it's like, all right, I'm jumping back over all these people.
yeah.
So hopefully he follows it up to date performance with a good pro day, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
he's tight in 6 or 7. I don't know, like
Probably at this point,
something.
probably.
And
Uh,
Vocal like is pretty solid too.
he's massive. He's a
He is.
huge human. I think he's
I
like
want.
6'6", 6'7".
He's another one that like he's huge.
Huge,
Huge.
great hands. At least on the
Did
gauntlet, great hands. Moved
did
really well.
Patterson work out? Because I don't recognize that either.
Not from they would have if he worked out, they would have said something about him being in the Air Force.
Very true. So I don't think he did that because I
No.
don't recognize that person either. So most of the group worked out. Just two people didn't work out from
Yeah.
what right? Just Patterson and who's the other guy?
Somebody further up. I don't know. And then
Patterson
the
and
two like
Noah Gindorf.
yeah, and then like the two and Cameron Latu, I think,
No,
didn't work out
Cameron
either.
Latu didn't work out either.
And
And
then
then
you got
Kincaid and
Musgrave
Musgrove.
and
Yeah.
thing. So like 4 or 5.
They're hurt. So they're hurt. So I'm not mad about that.
But like at this point, like I think I think a lot of these guys are going to supplant like the receivers that you would get middle to late first round. That you're like, I need playmakers, I need pass catchers. Go to the tight end position. Like,
Oh,
and a lot of
I
teams have like
didn't know.
younger quarterbacks. Go to the tight end position. Like playmakers galore. Like you get a playmaker, you get a playmaker, you get a playmaker, you get an offensive lineman. There you go. Like
Yeah.
it is unbelievable the talent in this draft from this position. This might be probably one of I think since like that Dallas Goedert, George Kittle, Mark Andrews kind of draft. I think they said
Mm,
2013. This might be the
mm.
best one since then, and I absolutely believe it. That this is going to be the next wave of like superstar tight ends.
I want to say we just like out of that whole group. I mean, we could probably say there's 11, 12, 13, 15 tight ends on that list that we all could see being number one tight ends in a year or
Yeah,
two from the league.
yeah.
Like, well,
That's
on the
stupid. That's half the league would get tight end ones.
yeah.
Like,
Real quick,
it's stupid. It's just stupid.
and then real quick, we go through the line group, and really is a big position tomorrow, and a position that there's really not somebody on here that I'm not interested in, and not just
Yeah,
because I'm a Giants fan, just in general. Like, there's
yeah.
everybody up here it's like everybody up here makes me like I'm tuning in to watch. Like everybody up here for some type of reason.
Especially because like you look at the tiers of positions. Like this is the one position group that can change or screw up at someone's entire draft. Because
Yeah,
where these guys go, to me, like they're going to control the draft. They're like, because again, if Skaronski's arms are a little bit longer than we think, or a little bit shorter, that completely changes the entire like lineup of offensive tackles.
he might
If
sit up here and get slid inside and go from like tackle one to interior guard one.
yeah,
And now move Broderick up or move whoever you think Paris Jones or Dewan, whoever you might fancy as your number one on top of the board, might move them up
yep,
to one.
and
And
then Torrance, like it depends on what size he comes in at. Because if he continues to drop weight and comes in and looks fantastic, like is he now offensive guard one? Like what is his position
right,
flexibility? Because I know he's a guard tackle flexibility. JMS just needs to show up. We
yeah,
know he's the top
yeah,
center.
yeah, we know what he's gonna do. Cody
Yeah,
Monch, Cody Monch, is another guy who's gonna translate to guard on the next level for everything
yeah,
I'm hearing.
yeah.
He's gonna
He
slide
looks like a
inside.
guard to me.
Yeah, he's gonna. I think he did a lot of guards at the Senior Bowl practices too. So
Yeah.
another person's gonna slide
Uh,
inside and be another guard for you.
Matthew Bergeron is another guy that like can really solidify himself as either as in that top 5 or 6 group with
Mhm.
Antoine and we were just talking about and DeJuan Jones. Like if
Yeah.
he comes in, looks great, moves well, like that's gonna catapult him up.
Yep.
I'm
Then
looking
you got
at like what other centers are gonna pop.
Joe Tipman, Luke Whippler, what's it called? Oluwatimi,
Mm-hmm.
Oluwatimi. Like I'm looking at all those guys. Those are the main guys
And
I'm looking at.
Andrew
And
Voorhees, just because his last name, like you walk in with like Voorhees, like bro, I need you to be the most violent human I've
you
ever.
better murder the combine if that's the
Like
case.
you
Like,
better like I want you to break the fucking sled.
and I saw him I saw he had some versatility at center guard too, so that's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting as well too. And this one is from a Giant standpoint of watching the centers and guards interiors and
You and me
knowing that
both.
our interior, yeah, exactly, and knowing that
Like
the
our
interior
center's free
needs
agent.
work.
Like
And I said, I knowing our center free agent too. It's like knowing the interior needs work. So I'm sitting here now. This is as a Giants fan. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what are we doing with our center guard, our guard center guard? Like, what are we doing with the interior here? So looking at people like if JMS is gone, then you have to look at Whitworth. You got to look at Voorhees and his versatility. You got to look
mhm,
at Titman and Olsingun, and so it's going to be interesting. There's like I said, there's a lot of names up here, and I know we
mhm,
know most of them because we've been so studying these guys heavy. And then
mhm.
and I always forget about like a Ricky Stromberg
Yeah.
because again, all these other people pop up, and it's not anything against Stromberg. It's just like all the names pop up, and it's just more and more to study.
Yep. And then you have the the bells of the final, you know, curtain call where like the position that has constantly been overlooked. Because then you have these guys, and then you have the running backs tomorrow, and it's like the
yeah,
backs
I
are deep this
mean,
year. Like it's just like,
like
oh, jeez.
it's funny. I'm just like looking at like some of the names of these linemen. And it's like most of them I know, most of them like so like the people I really don't I'm really gonna pay attention to also are just people that by unknowns like Anthony Bradford, Jordan McFadden, Carter Warren, Asim Richards, like Braden Daniels. These are people I don't know too much about, so I'm gonna try to pay
Hmm.
attention to those guys too. But then I look at someone like Alex Forsyth,
Yep.
and I've been watching that guy and seeing his name. He has like great run in pass blocking grade. So I'm like, okay, well, you could be if we're breaking it up, you could potentially be center 3 or 4 right now. So I'm sitting
Yep.
here and you got JMS as you probably is your one, and then you might have you're gonna have to figure out somewhere between um if you don't consider Voorhees as a center right now, then you still have like Oluwatimi, and then you're gonna have like Jared Patterson's up on the list. Like there's a lot of people up here. So it's like and Titman, so I'm sitting here like, okay, like you could be center 3, center 4, depending on how you did during the year and now how this workout is going to go. So,
And a lot of teams need centers,
oh yeah,
especially after this year. Like, I guarantee you, a lot of teams would rather cut their center and draft one at this point. Like, a lot of teams would just be
and
like, I only have them because I don't have another choice.
there's so many people up here, dude. Like
It's
so
stupid. It's
Tyler
disgusting.
Steen, Blake Freeman, Jalen Duncan, Jared Patterson, Drew Scruggs, Jackson Kirkland, Warren McClendon. Is the guy from Chattanooga up here? Because I've been hearing about that guy a lot too.
I don't know.
Wanya Morris. I'm looking right now, real quick. John
You got
Gay.
to
Yeah,
do for
McClendon Curtis.
Troy. Like, come on, man.
McClendon Curtis, Tennessee, Chattanooga. I've been hearing a lot about him, and he actually did really well in the Senior Bowl. So I want to see how he does tomorrow. It's another one. Oh my goodness! University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Mark Evans the
Wow,
second. Okay,
wow.
I want to see how Steve Avila does too after getting
Hmm.
completely mauled in the
Bro, like, you got to
by
pick your
Jalen
chin up on that one.
Carter. Oh my gosh, he got complete. People took him right off their draft boards after that game. Jalen Carter had his way with Steve Avila for 4 quarters. It's like, oh my gosh, man. Yeah, and like you said, the running back group, man. This
Well, we know who the top two guys are, so it's at this point, it sucks to say it's a race for third.
it's another one's an interesting group because, like I said before, we got on this is just Zach Charbonnet on a lot is Zach Charbonnet for what I've seen is the majority third running back,
Mm-hmm.
but that can change very quickly. Again, Tajay Spears is a person I keep hearing all the time.
Yep.
Tajay Spears,
Yep.
Tajay Spears. So you got somebody like him, Devon A. Chain, Zach Evans, like
Tank
there's
Bigsby.
yeah, there's so many people up here, man. Like, and that's the thing we were saying, like Bijan and Jameer are gonna go first, second round. First round, maybe Jameer goes second. Like, cool. After that, who's next up? Like that's the biggest question for me. Like, who's the next person up? And it's not and I really could see it being as like a you're gonna get those two, and then there might be a bit of a lull. It might be like okay, like after these two, who's going next and what round are they going in? Like, do I have to wait until the third or even maybe potentially the fourth round for some of these guys to go? Like, I could see maybe Charbonnet going second round, maybe third, or somebody might jump on Tajay Spears early. That's going to be the big question mark for me in the draft. Like, I want to see where these guys are going to go in and what round they go in, not just like what team they go to. I want to see how like where that running back run is going to happen. You got talent. You go
Yeah,
Amanda
you got
Canada's up
talent up and down the
here.
board, man. And we saw
Yeah,
last year,
McIntosh,
like
Eric Ray.
you saw last year, like the impact of like these middle of the road running backs, and then it's like the adage now is like even if you don't need a running back, draft a running back. So like a
Yeah,
lot of these guys are gonna go.
the Eric Gray, Muhammad Ibrahim, Chase Brown, the twin brother of Sidney Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Travis Dye. People love Roshan Johnson. Love Roshan
I've heard
Johnson.
a lot of good things.
he's supposed to like people were like, yo, like I know that like Bijan, but like Roshan Johnson is legit. And everybody's saying like he is a sneaky running back 4 in this class
Mm,
at least. Like they've heard all when people are talking about, like, don't sleep on this man. Don't think he's going to be available in the 4th round,
mm,
5th round. That guy's going to go
mm,
earlier than a lot of people think.
mm.
So I'm waiting to see how he tests tomorrow. I love Deuce Vaughn. I love his story. I love his skill set. I love his athleticism. All that. Chris Rodriguez is a solid running back. Cam Peoples. I love Cam Peoples' game. That dude is Cam Peoples just tries to run over people. He don't try to
Love
run
it.
around people. He
Love it.
just help. Yeah, he's as physical as they come.
He's this year's Damian Pierce.
Might just be. He
Yeah.
might just be. He looks for contact. Like I love that guy. Tavion
Told you,
Thomas, another one.
meet me in the middle. He's one of
Yes,
those meet me in the
yes.
middle.
Meet me in the middle. Yes. And then Tavion Thomas, he's the lowest grader one here, but the kid, he's got size. Like he has size to him. Like, see if I can what he measured in as real quick. Oh, I don't have
No,
measurable anything on him yet. Nothing yet. I gotta see what he measured in as, man. Because if I remember right, he's a bigger back.
he might be a Brian Robinson type.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Tavion Thomas. I think I'm thinking of the right person. Yeah, this dude. It's not well. This is Wikipedia official, but according to Wikipedia, this man is 6'2", 238.
Oh my god,
Yeah, and
a
he's
fucking
muscle.
unit.
Yo, and he's muscle.
Jesus,
He used that Utah running through people. Like, yeah,
golly.
he's he's a monster. I watched him run some people over this past season during Pac-12 games. That kid is oh man. I enjoy watching that dude run. I ain't gonna lie. Oh man, like I said, this is the last day of the combine, and we'll have some offensive lineman workouts. We'll have some run back workouts, and then we'll have our final thoughts on it. And then free agency will be here before you know it. And then before you know it,
I
it'll be
can't wait
draft
for the
time.
next mock. the next
Oh my god.
next mock is going to be interesting. And then we
Oh yeah.
still have the official NFL offseason, which that comes with its own stories and drama and just I
When does
think
free
that'll
agency
dictate a
start? What
lot
is
of
it?
what teams do.
What is it?
I
When
think
free
legal
agency
tampering
start?
starts like the 15th.
Something like that. Like I can't wait. Yeah,
Oh man.
4 p.m. March 15th. Cannot wait for the start of the new league year. Like I said, we'll have these last 2 workout groups. We'll have O line, we'll have running backs. We'll hop on again, do our final thoughts on the whole thing. Hopefully, it's a little more. I don't
Enthusiastic.
know. Yes, yeah, that's where I will go. We'll go with that because, like I said, the receiver group kind of was underwhelming to a point. Tight end
Mm,
group kind of made up for it. So hopefully, these linemen and these running backs kind of blow the roof off and they send us off well. And then, like I said, after that, we'll go to free agency and move on from there.
yeah.
Uh, Parting shots? Anything?
I, I mean, if you need a pass catcher, go and get a tight end. That's just where I'm at right now. If you need a pass catcher, go and get a tight end.
That is just the theme of the pod. I should have named that the podcast tonight. Oh my gosh. Well, guys, thanks for watching another video. Another day of the combines in the books. Uh, tune in tomorrow for our combine finale. We're gonna do our pre and post as always. Thanks for watching, and guys. Again, thank you for the support. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Check our YouTube channel out for more content. We've been doing this every night, just doing our instant reactions after the show. And yeah, come back, check us out tomorrow night, probably around the same time. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And this is it. Nosebleed section is done for the night. Have a good one.